Yes, sir, with the bless the Buffs are back in town. It is Monday. Spring break is behind us. Time to get another week of work in. We're gonna talk March Madness. We're gonna talk Colorado Buffs. We got Coach Cheney joining the morning run. You know what to do. Get in where you fit in. It's Big Dog Chico. It's Uncle Neely. It is the morning run.
Yes, indeed. It is the morning run because it's morning somewhere. So no matter where you're checking in from, get on in the comments and join the conversation. Let us know where you're checking in from by putting your city, your state, your country in the chat. All members will be featured, of course. All super chats will be read on camera, on stage, on live, on the show, whatever you want to call it. So make sure you get in there, get it in right now. Shout out to Miss Denise Smith at DeniseSmithInsurance.com. Also to the Boulder Broker Hotel in Boulder, Colorado, where you can stop by and tell them that Uncle Neely sent you for 20% off at checkout. And we got some things to talk about today. We got Coach Cheney on the show. We're going to go inside Colorado Buffs football. Got the ANC. We got the Sweet 16 now, huh?
Yeah,
Zero brackets left. Zero correct brackets left, put it like that. So,
yeah. There's a lot of brackets left. It ain't none of them right.
What's going on? How you doing, man?
I'm doing good. First, let me check on you and the brethren, the Ooses out there in Hawaii. A lot of flooding been going on, man. Record-breaking flood. How you and your people, man? How your extended family? How the Hawaiians?
Well, shouts out to all my Hawaiian out there. Man, it's been tough. I'll say that. The contrast as far as the different parts of the island and what it's looking like. I saw someone post a picture or a video from Waikiki, and you see all the tourists out there. They're on the beach, relaxing. It's packed out there on the beach because of the rain. So people were locked into their hotel rooms. But on the other side of the island, on the North Shore, where we talked about a couple of Colorado Buffaloes that's from there, Leonga, Lefau's from there, North Shore, man, it's bad out there. Got flooded, like over 15 inches of rain dropped on the island. So you had landslides, you had waterfalls coming from the top of the mountains, come straight down. So it's a bunch of areas, but mainly on the North Shore, they got hit really hard by the flood. So a lot of people going out there to help out. I'll be taking my truck out there this week to help out also. I couldn't go yesterday. It was just too packed. But I'll go tomorrow or today to go help out also. So, man, pray for the North Shore, Hawaii, and also on the east side too.
Yeah, absolutely, man. Thoughts and prayers to Hawaii and the flooding that's taking place. We know you're going to lock it down and represent for the morning run and the runners out there, Chico. Now, Chico, when you take your truck out there, I want you to take your real truck. Don't take your son little Tonka toy, the remote control.
Like, oh, I thought y'all needed trucks. Somebody
here. Take your real truck.
Yeah, they're hauling off stuff from the beach, man. Like so much debris that came from, if you could just imagine getting cleansed or something. And, you have so much debris that just comes down from the mountains and the streams and stuff that get pushed out to the ocean. So all around the island is just like brown water everywhere that came from the inside going to the outside of the island. And debris and trees and branches and houses and everything is just caught up, man. So pray for the island. Pray for the island.
Richard Pryor said it best in one of his skits. It ain't a mofo in the world that can stop water when they want to go somewhere.
Ooh, that's a fact.
Can't stop it. Muskogee, Oklahoma's in the building. Waco, Texas is in the building. Magnolia, Arkansas. Poplar Bluff, Missouri, by way of Magnolia, Arkansas is in the building. St. Pete, Florida in the house. Of course, then Danny DeCapo, representing out of Central Cali, is in the house. Y'all know what it is. Y'all know who it is. It is the morning run coming at you on a Monday from the middle of the ocean to the middle of America and all points in between and beyond. Big Dog Chico, yours truly, Uncle Neely. Should be joined today by Coach Cheney, who is one of our leadership development coaches here at CU. He's been on before, and he always brings it. So make sure you stay tuned for that. But Chico. And then there were none. This has been some madness in March, my brother. Like, you always got to pick an upset here, there, the 11 going to be the 6 somewhere, et cetera, et cetera. That's going to happen.
Yeah.
last year you had 4-1s in the finals, but before that it had been like a decade before that happened. So one is gonna get knocked out somewhere most of the time. Chico, you and I started off hot. Like it looked like we were gonna split that 100 each.
But then it fizzled out quick.
The night went on.
Yes, indeed. I think I'm still like top 5. Am I? I think last time I checked, as Nipsey Hussle would have said, I was top 5. So we'll see if I'm still there or not. I don't know.
Let me look at it right now. And see, this is why we tried to tell y'all
get in, fit in.
To name your brackets. Number 1 right now is somebody by the name of Kryptonite.
On that Kryptonite.
You got 3 people. You got 3 people in number 1. And Chico, you sitting at number 9. You're in top 10.
Okay, I'm top 10. All right.
Yeah, you top 10.
Sure. Let's finish out because they go off of you get points in that system, right? So it's not just
what you need, Chico. Here's what you need.
I need some of the upsets.
You need Purdue, Arkansas, Duke, and Michigan to get knocked out. Because see, you got people ahead of you that has picked them, right?
Okay.
And so as long as your champion stays in, you mathematically could catch up, except for number 1 got Arizona picked as well. So if you won't be able to catch that person if Arizona wins, whoever Kryptonite is, whoever real name Kryptonite is. But they humping at 94.5%.
What?
Yeah, they rolling.
Damn. Yeah, dog. We just, most people when they pick the brackets, they're gonna pick, just subconsciously gonna pick the number 1 team and end up with the top 4 teams in the Final Four. Number one, because then it's gonna be hard to pick up the upset when you first start doing these brackets, and then when the upsets happen, everybody's always like, damn, I should have picked them, or I was about to pick them, or I said they were gonna win. So same thing you get with the St. John's and such like that. So
I love the woulda, coulda, shouldas, but don't have no proof.
Yeah, like, that's how my dog did. You ever seen somebody with a lottery ticket? Like my dog K-Dub said, got a lottery ticket. Like, man, oh, they put a 7, 4, and a 6 right there. While I put that 9, 6, 7, I would have bust their ass. But I put a 9, 4, 7 instead of an 8, 4, 6. But I would have hit them if I would have got that. But anyway, Sweet 16.
So Chico,
jumping off
to prove your point, right?
Okay.
To underscore your point, I did 3 brackets. I did one that was me and the way I gamble, and then I did another one that was like logical, like this is what most people would do.
Yeah.
To prove you can't follow logic, in 52 brackets, the logic bracket is number 47. Like you can't follow logic, dog. You can't sit there and just pick somebody because of the way they rank. You got to call some of these upsets. And hey, man, we did the damn thing, calling some updates on the first 2 days. But by the time they got to day 3 of that thing, and them said, oh.
Yes, indeed. I think I called, who was it? Not High Point, but Utah State was one of them. I called somebody else.
I think it was
Illinois. Might have been High Point because my boy Ben Fletcher coached for them on the. He's an assistant coach for them. Shout out to Ben Fletcher out of Southside, Selma, Alabama. Was a baller. Yes, indeed.
Sir. Yes, sir.
Let's
Chico,
go.
Man,
we had Polk County in the building.
The boys are indeed back in town. I know we got Coach Cheney has hopped on with us. So let's pivot off of March Madness for a second and go to some Colorado football. As you know, this is entering week 3. However, we had to stop for spring break, so it wasn't consecutive. So we got 6 practices in, then took off for spring break, and we're back in town. Let's bring Coach Cheney on the screen one time for the one time.
Let's do it then. One time for the one time. You got to give them a proper intro, though. Don't just bring them on the screen. How are you going to bring them on the screen with an intro? How are you going to do it?
Let me tell you how you bring Coach Cheney on the screen then, since you want to tee it up that way. He going to ride with that 5 because he's coming out of Fort Myers.
Yes, sir. Right. Yes, sir. I'm going to ride with my 5 every time, man. It's like focus, intense effort. For all you thugs, that ain't no 5-5. Mm-hmm. It's focus, intense effort. All right, tell them Alabama boys that, Big Dog.
Yeah, I got to tell them because, Alabama will take it literally and be like, he said, ride with that 5. So I got an excuse to have that fire on me. You understand me? The fire. So yeah, shout out to the Florida boys out of Polk County. Shout out to my Alabama boys from the top to the bottom, from Huntsville to Birmingham, Montgomery, Selma to Mobile, and everywhere in between, dog. We're gonna make sure we get Coach Cheney back on as he just popped in and popped out. Just
hey, you know, I thought you kicked him off for saying something about Alabama.
nah, I think his phone went out. Somebody might have called him or something. That happens sometimes.
Probably it was.
Let's see, there we go. Get him back on. Polk County in the building. There we go. Let me see. No, actually, Polk County. We got Polk County in the chat. Coach Cheney is it 239, Coach? Can you hear me? I don't know if he can hear me yet. I figure, hey man, get the technical difficulties right, and we'll come back to him.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Yeah, he went in.
But we went on Coach Cheney to come back, man, this morning. Had a little strength and conditioning taking place today. Was a weightlifting day for the Buffs. So you'll be seeing some of that breakdown footage this evening on the pregame network, or no later than in the morning. So Coach Cheney's back in it. Everybody's back in. Got to kick it with the staff. Yesterday, as everybody's returning, man, everybody's in upbeat spirits, and I think Coach Cheney can hear us now. He's back.
Yes, sir.
There you go.
There we go.
See,
yes,
Coach, when you said something about Alabama, Chico kicked you off.
Hey, man, I thought we was betting that, Chico.
You can sure love Alabama, man.
I love Alabama, man. I love them neck bone and collard green and cornbread.
Ooh, yes, indeed. Don't take me back.
Sir. Yes, sir.
Take me back to my roots. Ooh.
Let's go, my brother. Let's go.
Yes,
Coach, let me ask you something personally first before we dig into the team. Spring break was last week. A lot of us got an opportunity to get out of here and unwind. How was back at the crib before Myers for you?
Man, when I go back, I gotta work, bro. It's my mother is battling dementia right now. My brother, thank God, lives there with her. But I had to go in, and man, I had to get the carpet clean and do a lot of stuff around the house for her and get some things fixed. It's a tough situation, but we all, most of us have to face that issue in life one day. You know what I mean? My father died a couple summers ago, and mom getting a little dementia, and but God is good, man. She's still here with us, and we just thank the Lord every day for her.
Absolutely, man. Prayers for mom.
Yes, sir.
I know when I first met you, seems like 20 years ago. Coach Prime talked about how tight knit y'all family was in the hood. He said, "Man, you got to stand Cheney. Cheney was on the 2-parent household in the neighborhood. Like we."
Man, I'd be like, Prime, don't say that, man. Like he say it every time, because he been saying it for years and years, man. But I would like to hope that the family structures are getting better, man. And I tell people all the time, when I played Pop Warner, you looked at a gate full of dads. They might have had a beer in their hand and a cigarette in their mouth, but they took us to practice. They stood on the gate, and they took us to the barbershop. But now, you go in the barbershop, you see all mamas. You go to a youth football game, you see mamas over there on the gate, hollering at the coach. So we got to do better, man. We got to do better as men, because our young men need us. And I would venture to say, and I told somebody this the other day, I said, I would probably pick a kid with a strong father in his life who's a little less athletic than an athletic kid who have none of the above, because I think they're going to be mentally tougher and more emotionally intelligent. So that's my theory.
That mentally tough part.
Go ahead, Chico.
No, I was just going to say that mentally tough part, and just talk about that a little bit more, Coach. Like,
and I also, emotional intelligence also. It's there's a lot of things in this life that you can't really take personal. A lot of this stuff is a business transaction. You know what I mean? You come to work, they pay you to do something and you get it done, and that is what it is. Ain't no feelings involved. But sometimes, our young men, they'll fly off the handle, especially these young guys. When I go back home and I watch the games, and I see a lot of emotion coming from the stands, and it makes it hard for the youngsters to handle maybe being second or third string, or not getting playing time, or fumbling the ball one time, or making a mistake. We have to really raise our kids to be emotionally intelligent. You know what I mean? To be guys that can handle adversities,
Yeah.
in life. And I think that's probably, we do hire a lot of trainers. We got our little 3, 4 year olds out there with a personal trainer, but I think we also need to get these young men and women involved with therapists who can teach them about being mentally tough and emotionally intelligent.
Well, that coach. Speaking of that vein, man, mentally tough, emotional intelligence, as it relates to leadership and that kind of thing. When you have get to front row seat, taking a look at this team that Coach Prime personally put together, he tells everybody he was the first and the final saying who was going to be on this roster this year. And the same thing with this dynamic new coaching staff that's on board. What are some things that got you excited when you just look at this eyeball test so far?
Man, you when you sit in the lunchroom with these guys and when you walk through academics with these guys, it's like a different mentality, man. It's like, man, I'm very appreciative. I feel the same energy that the Wester brothers had when they
Mm,
first got here.
yeah.
Man, we ain't never had this. Well, we ain't never had no weight room look like this. You know what I'm saying? And that's kind of the energy I'm getting right now. And I really appreciate these guys' focus. I do a lot with academics. We've had 6 semesters, 5 out of 6 semesters over a 3.0 here, and these guys look
Wow.
like they're going to be in the same vein, and they're going to have the same intensity level that the guys in the past have had here with our academic success. So I see it. They're showing up. You know what I'm saying? I don't see as many infractions. I don't see as many text messages, and these guys are getting it done.
Yeah. What are some things that you do to help with these guys academic wise? To keep them on course, keep them on track, and things of that nature. Make them and help them excel at CU.
Man, I'm my in player development role. I connect the dots. We have a lot of different athletic departments here, and what my goal is to make sure that we are working hand in hand as a straight football entity with the psychological health and performance, with the academic people, with career development. These guys. If you get 100 guys in the room, nearly maybe 2 or 3, maybe gonna go to the NFL.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
So the rest of us, normal people, we got to go find something to do. We got to either start a business, we got to find a job, we got to figure out where we're gonna live. We're gonna have to figure out how we're gonna, pay our way. And these departments, man, are vitally important, to make sure that we can connect those dots and get these guys involved. I have a lot of kids still playing college football from my high school coaching days. And when I talk to them, the first thing I ask them, I said, man, who have you met outside of the athletic department today?
Mm.
I don't want to hear about your coach. I don't want to hear about practice. I don't want to hear about none of that. Who have you networked with? What are you doing? And I mean, what extra things is happening in your life to make sure life after football works for you? And they get aggravated by it sometimes, but even my sons just finished college football a couple years ago. One of them's, driving for Coca-Cola, and one of them's an assistant defensive line coach at Michigan State. Because I demanded, I was like, y'all not gonna come stay with me. You ain't going to stay with your mama. You're gonna go get a job. You're gonna get something started right away. Because
Yeah.
the crash test dummy here didn't take advantage of it. And I don't want you to slip like I slipped.
Mm-hmm.
So we're getting it done, man.
Yeah,
When you call
one thing
yourself
about
crash
that,
test dummy, I gotta start using that.
I am
Yeah.
in a
Okay.
lot of ways.
Chico, you ain't got to use it. We call you that behind your back, so it's already gone. But you know the tagline, Chico. You can learn a lot from a dummy.
Yes, you can.
He ain't
Yes, you
lying.
can. Yes, you
Hey,
can.
hey,
Kids.
coach. I told Chico, man, a year ago, I said, I'm the youngest of 3 boys.
Hmm.
And I probably got the fewest whoopings, and it had nothing to do with me being the best. I learned from their ass whoopings.
There you go.
Like when I saw my brother, he in 10th grade, I'm in 7th grade. When I saw what got him in trouble in 10th grade, I made a mental note. Okay, don't get
Do
caught
that.
that way.
He
You're a
ain't
smart
lying.
man. You're a
Yeah.
smart man.
You gonna do it, don't get caught.
I mean, you get those lessons, man. Even as a football coach or football professional, You look at all these guys that Coach Prime's bringing in. You got, Coach Pendergrass, he's been in the league, and
Mhm.
you got Coach Marv, who was at Florida State. He recruited my son at Florida State and
Mm.
been at Virginia Tech. Man, it's just such a small football world. You got Coach Marion, with all his knowledge and wisdom. This is the perfect opportunity to learn from these guys. We got the wisest of them all, in that big office. It's just a great time for our players and the people around and our coaches and staff to learn from this wisdom, make these connections, man, and just enjoy life. It's just a beautiful thing.
Yeah, Coach, I think one thing that folks may not understand when you talk about that academic portion is that even during the season when we travel, the classroom travels with us.
Yes,
And,
sir.
and you will be in that breakout room and the computers are out and guys are doing their assignments or whatever work or studying they have to do. Talk about that balance of academics and athletics during the season. Some people think it's pretty easy now, or not understanding football is year round in college, but during the season, how that classroom travels on the road.
Well, we have our one of our academic advisors travels with us, and I meet with them, and they say, "Hey, man, so and so has a test. When we arrive, can you have a room ready for them? So and so has a test the next day. So and so has a virtual assignment that he can complete." One game, I think it was a couple years ago, Neely, we had to set up a room where the kid was in there by himself for like an hour, and he had to set up the computer a certain type of way, and they had a program on there that would scan the room to make sure nobody was in there giving him the answers. I was like, man,
Damn.
technology is a beast.
Mm.
But
Right.
this academic department, Chris Livingston, who just retired. Now we got Mr. Jed running the show, and all the different academic advisors. Man, you really have to like not care at all to flunk out of this school with all the help
Mm.
that you can get, bro. It's just any and everything you need, they will support you here at the University of Colorado. And Coach Prime wouldn't have it any other way. Coach Prime looks at all the academic reports. He looks at all the faculty feedback, and he wants to know what people are doing and what's going on. So, we take it very seriously. We have a very high graduation rate. I think it's somewhere around 95, 96%. And like I said, man, that's 6 out of 6 semesters we've been over a 3.0. And the one we didn't make, fellas, was a 2.99999.
Yeah.
Mm.
Right there.
You know what I'm
Coach,
saying?
well,
So we're proud of
and
that.
follow up to that, man, because I agree with you 2,000%.
Mhm.
From an infrastructure standpoint, from an opportunity standpoint, everything you need is here in the toolkit. In your role, how do you go about motivating that player to utilize the toolkit that's before them?
Well, I did this, man. I've been doing this since I was a Pop Warner coach, and since I was a high school coach in a Title I school.
Mm.
I always love to deal with the worst of the worst. You know what I mean? Because I wanted to prove to people that these kids can achieve anything that they wanted to. So as a Pop Warner coach, if Mama said he was acting up in school, I owned a catering business, so I wasn't working full time as a Pop Warner guy. I was doing catering. I could go to the school and go straight in the lunchroom, sit
Yeah.
down and eat with them and get that thing straight. In high school, you couldn't play if you wasn't getting your academics done. You know what I mean? And I connected with the community. You know what I'm saying? I knew some kids gonna have to go to Publix and work. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
I knew some kids had to go do construction or had to go to school, get their degree and do something. I understood that, and I wasn't really afraid to, say, "Hey, man, let's go after this." This I was really real and upfront with them and the parents. And here, because of my experience at Florida State, I was one of them knuckleheads that didn't want to go to the career development meeting. I didn't want to go do my resume thing. It was all football all the time. So when I got out, it was like I was getting out of prison or something. They ain't even give me $100. I just walked out of there and ain't know what to do.
Yeah.
So I had to figure it out. So when I started coaching, I said, man, nobody I'll ever coach or be a part of a staff with will ever make the same mistake I made. I'm gonna nag them. They ain't gonna like me. We gonna argue. But at the end of the day, you're gonna be able to take care of yourself and your family if I got anything to do with it.
Yeah, I like that. Because once you go through that experience, coach, and you get out of there, you realize, like, damn, I was really here trying to make my football dream come true and not take advantage of the academics and the tutoring and all the resources that they are providing for us. I'm just ignoring that part.
Chico, you're gonna be a man way longer than you're gonna be a football player.
Man, say that again. Goodness gracious.
You're gonna be a man, Neely, way longer than you're gonna be a football player. And your kids deserve to understand what it takes to be successful in this world. You know what I mean? And and I tell these guys online all the time, these youth football coaches, say, man, you really don't realize how huge of a responsibility you have. You know, you are the only father figure that a lot of these kids have.
Mhm.
And if they see you out here wilding and doing this little, internet stuff, I said they're gonna practice the same things, man. I said you guys got to start with discipline. And that's I'm seeing kids now, Neely, man. I done had kids pass, I done had kids go to prison, but I've also had kids starting businesses and having families, and it's just that's the reward of being a coach,
Yeah.
is to see young men become the man that you talked about all them years ago. And they looking at you as a 5 or 6 year old like, what is this man talking about? And now they say, hey, coach, man, I remember all that stuff.
Mhm.
So it's very important. Very important.
Very important.
I tell you what, Chico, as you had a coach Cheney in your life, you might wouldn't have to drop out of Bible college.
All right, here we go again.
He
Hey,
did. He didn't get to Deuteronomy. He got the Genesis. Said this ain't for me.
It's all right. If you would have had a coach Shady in your life, you would have learned how to give the water to the right players coming off the field and not to just sitting there drinking all of the damn water. Dog.
man, y'all rough, boy. Y'all rough
Give it
on
to the
each other.
players.
Yeah,
Oh,
man. But
man.
it's a wonderful thing that y'all doing, man. I appreciate y'all. I watch it all the time. And man, I really thank y'all for what y'all do. You know.
We absolutely appreciate that love, coach. You know, it's mutual. I do want to circle back on something because you mentioned Coach Marv and y'all's history and Coach Marion, the new OC in DC. When you see their energy, man, and not just their knowledge, but their ability to teach it and transfer it, how did it make you feel going into the spring ball?
It makes me feel really good, man. It reminds me of that Mickey Andrews, Chuck Amato, Bobby Bowden, Florida State energy.
Old school.
That old school, that
Now,
demand
hold on
excellence.
1 second, coach.
Mhm.
I don't want them to get lost out there. You not talking about what you heard. You're talking about what you know. You played at Florida State for those coaches.
Yeah.
Yes, sir. I was there. The first Miami wide right was my senior year. And the starting center at the University of Miami, his name is Kelvin Harris. He was the starting center. I was the starting nose guard. And it was all in the paper. And back then, them boys, Mike Barrow and Kelvin Harris and all them boys, Leon Searcy, they used to call you on the phone and sell you out. And we ain't have social media back then. You just have to
Yeah.
call somebody and hang up on them. You can hang up on somebody properly.
Yeah.
But my time at Florida State, man, was awesome. Coach Prime was there my freshman year. I played high school football with Coach Prime too. He was a freshman when I was a senior,
Mhm.
and I got to see like all this stuff that y'all see. I've seen it from day one. First dude on the field, last guy off. I saw the man almost getting in a fight with the trainers because he got hurt in the game and they didn't want him to practice. Like it's just story after story of how strong mentally Coach Prime is, man, and I've gotten to see it up close and personal.
And I didn't mean to
Gotcha,
take you off your analogy between the new coaches here and the coaches that you had at Florida State. So please continue what you see in these new coordinators.
Just very similar, man. Like you could tell those guys were coach hard, because I feel like a coach is pretty much a sum total of the how he was coached.
Yeah.
Mm.
I believe every coach is just like the guy, who coached them.
Yep.
And you know, it's a beautiful thing. And I would love nothing more for those guys to be successful, to become head coaches one day soon. And you know, just because I think they're great for kids. I think they're great for young men. You know, they're not afraid to confront, you know, they're not afraid to get down there in the trenches with them. And I really think Coach Prime did a great job when it comes to players and staff and coaches.
Hey, Coach Cheney, before Chico hop on, let me mention something from the chat to you. Our resident caterer, our resident chef, Louisiana Glenn, the shark with the fork, he said he need to get with you on some of them desserts you making.
Yeah, man. You know, I make these sweet potato cheesecakes, man, and you know, the guys at Saucy Southern in Denver, they got them in their restaurant, and they say, man, people going crazy over them. So, you know, I'm out here in Colorado, man. I may make a vegan version. I don't know, but it's just something that I can do in my sleep, man. I catered pharmaceutical reps for a little minute.
Yeah.
And I did barbecues, I did all this stuff, and I just, for some reason, I can just make stuff. They say my great granddaddy was a cook, you know, down in Fort Myers, and I know my mama will cook, you know, so it just kind of happens natural for me.
Shout out to them guys, Saucy Southern coming out the SIP. Love them dearly.
Yes, sir. My people.
Cheney, help me out on something.
Okay.
Help me out on something.
Talk to me.
I be trying to tell the folks, but they will not listen to me, but they will trust you.
Okay.
I'm trying to tell them that everything is different here.
Everything.
I was like, man, it could be in Mississippi when it's 32 degrees, that water turned to ice. Here it don't. You put something in the oven for 400 degrees, it ain't the same 400 back there south.
I done messed up so many pound cakes, Neely.
You messed
up so many pound cakes because of the altitude, and then finally I had to get online, and you can't put as much sugar. You got to put more milk. You got to put a little bit of oil, and it just in South Florida, man, I can make a cake. I can whip up a cake in 10 minutes.
Yeah.
But here, it's anxiety.
Wow.
It
changes the whole damn recipe.
The altitude changed
That's
everything,
crazy.
bro. It changed everything. Cooking times, it's totally different.
Now, where can we go get the sweet potato cheesecake? Because I know a lot of people hear Saucy Southern. They think you're talking about Uncle Neely. No, it's not Saucy Southern. It's not Saucy Santana. Not Uncle Neely. Where can they go get the cheesecakes from?
They can get them from Saucy Southern over there by the University of Denver.
Yeah.
That's a restaurant, guys.
It's off University Parkway. If you go on 25, you know, you pass the Denver Broncos Stadium and you get off on University, keep going down, and Saucy Southern is right there on the left.
Yeah, I mean, Dennis knows where it is. He said he's going today. It's right next to DU in Denver.
Yes,
hey,
it
Coach,
is.
you know Dennis. Dennis is the white guy on the bridge with the little dog when we practice.
Okay. Yeah, okay, I know him. I know the dog real good. That is the greatest little dog in America.
Heaven, man. He lost the dog, but
he did.
His name was Bruce. Yeah, he passed away. What? A couple months ago.
Oh man, I'm so sorry, sir. Man, I enjoyed seeing that dog. That dog made my day, bro.
Yeah,
it made my day. Yeah, wow. That's cool, bro. Golly, I'm so sorry.
Dennis and Bruce. Coach, let's talk about more of your role at CU, and I know you have a part of this. And I know Uncle Neely might have a part of this too. He might can answer this too. But how important is personal branding for student athletes today, especially when you talk about online?
Well, online is powerful, a powerful entity in itself. I was very successful as a high school head coach in recruiting through Twitter. A gentleman named Ryan Bartow, who worked for 247 at the time. I got my first 4-star running back. And before that, I wasn't getting much traffic. And he said, man, you got to get on Twitter. So I went Twitter crazy. I was frying chicken on Twitter, making cakes. You know what I'm saying? And people started coming by. It was, I was posting everything about my athletes. And that's how I gained my success. That's how I branded myself. We ended up playing on ESPN that last year I was there. Richard Young was there. He was one of the number one players in the country. And all that I have to give, credit to Twitter for making a platform for me to do my thing. So I just posted on Twitter this morning. I saw a young man from down there in Florida. His bio was a little messed up. Like he had a lowercase I on there, and I told him I inboxed him. I said, man, no, I didn't inbox him. I just tweeted it. I said, athletes, look at your bios. Coaches, check your athletes' bios. ADs, make sure you got the right phone number and the right head coaches on the bio and on your website. Because we had some guys back there. Me and Neely heard them calling high schools, asking who was the head coach and what's their number. You should be able to go to Twitter or the school's website and find that out. That
There
ain't
you
something
go.
you should have to call about. If you
Exactly.
want to be a high school that get a whole bunch of kids recruited, make it very easily for them to find you and to find out the information about your school. And that's what
Right.
I took pride in doing.
Yeah, I love that, Coach. When you want more of something, you got to make it easy for people to do.
Absolutely.
Mm.
Whatever you want more of, tax it less. And if you want to be found, you got to make yourself accessible and ready to be found. And that starts with us being able to contact high school coaches, whatever the case may be. So, and that's one of the things I love about this staff, man, and how it has grown and changed and all the layers of it, getting you to this staff that's in current place. You still have guys, no matter what they've accomplished in football, like you and Coach Kelly, like y'all were high school coaches. Y'all know what high school coaches look for and how to communicate with them.
Now you got Coach Niblett,
Yep.
just a star out here, man. And
Yeah.
I think we still have a heart for the high school athlete. Even though, the portal is strong and the portal is around, I still think that there's a space for high school talent that we can groom and don't have to play right away necessarily, that can, 2 years down the line, create big dividends. I think we can still get it done.
Yeah, and Coach, I think from an opportunity standpoint, particularly as it relates to personality management, emotional maturity management, that you're going to see a lot of collegiate programs start to do what Coach Prime has done here, and that is bring on high school coaches who can best relate to some of these younger players and their new personalities and their new growth because you've been with them.
Yes, sir. And the thing, I saw one of the recruits where before we left, we had some recruits,
Mm-hmm.
and I was talking to a young man, from Colorado, and I said, man, I want you to make sure you do these 3 or 4 things while you're preparing to come here. Because one of my things was, man, you're not gonna come from Lehigh Senior High School and be in a remediation weightlifting class. We can't send you there like that. You know what I mean? And we lifted. We got it done because I want a kid, to go up there and fit in and be physically. He ain't gonna be physically ready as an 18, 19-year-old, but at least the coaching staff and the strength staff can say, boy, look at them boys come from Lehigh, boy, they strong.
Mm-hmm.
And that's how college coaches keep coming to your school. You know what I mean? The discipline and the strength program and the academics. That's what separates high school programs, that send kids to college.
Yeah, and you look at you, Florida, Coach Kelly, Georgia, Niblett, Alabama, and Georgia. Like that. That's South on lock.
It's on lock, man. It's on lock. And we got all the connections. I probably got 3,000 inboxes on my Twitter about players and hey man, take a look at this tape. You know what I mean? Because, I'll get on Twitter and I'll say, hey man, if you are a high school coach, any level, any position, follow me and I'll follow you back.
Mm-hmm.
Because guess what? He gonna have a prospect. If he in that southeast corner, he might not have one this year, but he gonna have one next year.
At some point, and you never know what guy coaches can end up.
Bro,
You know?
you never know. And then that's another thing. Like when college coaches came to my school, whether they were NAIA or Nick Saban, I want to talk to them for 45 minutes. So I'm in a class one day and I'm talking to an NAIA guy. Nick Saban walk in the door. And I'm like, he like, hey, coach, I see you busy, man. I said, no, sir. I said, we ain't done talking yet. And I told him right in front of coach, I said, I'll send more guys D2, D3, NAIA than I will Power 5. I said, so, and then Nick Saban heard it. And he was like, coach, I'll be right over here. You take your time. And I talked to that guy for another 10, 15, 20 minutes. And you never know, like Chico said, you never know if that guy's going to end up at a Power 4 school one day. He's going to move up the coaching ladder, and he'll remember, how you made him feel.
Yeah.
I made him feel like, hey, man, you're a coach. You're just as important as everybody else. You're helping young men.
Yep.
So that's what I did in high school.
Coach, how do you sift through all of those messages to figure out which one or which player is worth, the time? You got 3,000.
I can call 2 or 3 people in an area and just mention their name, and I'll know what it is. I might call my boy at the Blue Store. I might call him a little street agent.
Yeah.
I might call him a little Pop Warner coach. They gonna know because they probably coached them in Pop Warner. So I ain't even gotta go through all that. Once my little connects give me that information, then I'll look at who they say look at.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's somebody like that in every hood.
Yep.
You gotta know them
real
people.
deal. You get the real deal.
You gotta know. You have to, as a recruiter. You got to, as a coach. You got to be able to go to the Blue Store.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying?
They're gonna speak that language. They're gonna tell you the real.
Bro, I'm telling you, they're gonna tell you
He's a good player, but
they're gonna tell you
on the weekend drinking with us.
They're gonna tell you if he trapping.
Yep.
They're gonna tell you if he go to school every day. They're gonna tell you how he played in games that they ain't supposed to win.
That's right.
That's all the stuff I want to know. They're gonna tell you if you run track.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? That's the intel you got to know to be successful in recruiting.
How important is track, Coach? Go ahead. No, I was going to say, how important is track? Because I was talking to a coach, director of player personnel the other day, and I was talking to him about a player, and the last question he asked was, well, one was, what's his superpower? And 2, did he run track, and what was his times?
Let me tell you why. The 9 years I was at Lehigh, no coach ever asked me for a 40 time or stats. Run that back by you. Never asked me for a 40 time. Because every camp you go to, somebody could be hand timing, the wind could be blowing hard, they could be trying to time 500 guys in a row.
Mm-hmm.
Even laser time ain't reliable. But what's reliable, that 100, that 200, that 400, that long jump, and that 4x1,
yeah,
that's pretty reliable.
Yeah.
And coaches have figured that out. Anybody can manufacture a 40 time, but it's very hard to manufacture a 100-meter dash or 200 now. So I ain't even trying to hear nothing about no 40. I ain't trying to hear nothing about your stats. I want to be able to look at that tape and get goosebumps.
There you go.
I want to be able to look at the game that you lost by the biggest margin and get goosebumps.
How did you play?
You still was a dog out there. Y'all got blew out, or you mailed it in. I want to know that because that's going to show back up in my program, and I don't want to do that.
He ain't lying. Real talk.
Yeah.
Unc, you got another one? I got a couple more.
Oh man, we can do this all week. Hey, I'm like Captain America. So I can do this all day.
Yeah.
Hey, one of the things I was going to say, Coach and Chico, I love how art imitates life, and as a former high school football coach myself and a movie buff, one of my favorite scenes in a great movie called Training Day is when Officer Hoyt introduces himself to Roger. Roger goes, Hoyt, 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 strong safety, Crenshaw High School. Hey, man, how you know that? I keep up with all the best.
Come on, man.
Like you never know who's going to know you and be able to reference you from your playing days and the type of player you were and were you coachable, et cetera, et cetera. And so one of the lost little things in that scene, you had to know Hoyt brought some toughness to the table because he played strong safety.
Strong safety. Yeah.
Ain't no doubt.
Yep. Those little things like that tells you something about the character in the movie.
Good.
But I got to go back and watch that scene. Who did he go up to? Who said that to him?
Roger, the retired dealer that they went to see.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I remember that. Okay. That's right. Makes sense. Crenshaw High School, strong safety. White strong safety at Crenshaw. Ooh, that boy had to be bringing that.
5'5".
Coach, talent will
Yes, sir.
get you there, but what fill in the blank keeps you there?
Talent will get you a long way, but what'll keep you there is discipline. Yeah, Coach Prime done said discipline so many times since I've been here. But between believe and discipline, I mean, you got one of the greatest of all times, man, giving you the secret. You know what I mean? And, you know, I tell parents all the time, I said, man, I think doing chores is a lost art.
Yeah.
We got somebody to cut the grass. We got somebody to paint the house. You know, we got somebody to clip the shrubs.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I without sounding like I know it all, I use social media to kind of try to explain to people how I got 2 sons from tiny mites to football scholarships.
Yeah.
And you know, one of them even tried out for the NFL, but
I was gonna ask you how in the hell he's not still on the team from what I
bro,
saw, but that's another story.
You know, he but anyway,
yeah.
I was divorced. My wife moved to another city, ex-wife, and she said, I can't raise boys. It takes me, and that was, you know, I'm appreciative for that.
Yes.
But we done had our lights off, water off. I could have had a great manicured yard, but they mowed it. I could have had a weedless yard, but they dug the weeds. They cleaned the bathroom. I taught them how to cook a hamburger and make an egg sandwich.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I made them go clean up their grandmom and their auntie yard because I understood, you know, what it leads. My dad was great at that. You know, he had us, we knew how to do everything. My mama taught us how to do everything inside the house because just me and my brother. But I think that instills discipline and responsibility in young men. But now, you know, you hire everybody to do. They even got websites. They got one called Task Rabbit. They'll come clean your house. Like when your feet hit the floor, because my dad was military. The bed got to be made when your feet hit the floor.
Damn.
You understand?
Yeah.
So, you know, between church and them older guys, man, who instill that wisdom in you, that discipline, man, that consistency, that's what keeps you there.
Go to you touched on it earlier about now we have a generation of women that take the boys to the barbershop. But I mean, man, going to the barbershop but being quiet.
Yes, sir.
Sitting there just listening.
Yes, sir. Them dope boys give you all the wisdom you want.
Yes, sir. With the blesser.
See, when I was little, they sold cocaine and stuff on the corner, on the street corner. And if you an athlete or you got good parents, church parents, and you walk too close to them, they'll tell you, man, get your little self, walk around that way. You know your mama don't play that, boy.
Yeah.
You get on the elevator or in a tight space, and one of them young boys start cussing the OG. Hey man, that's a church lady, man. You don't cuss in front of her like that, bro. What's wrong with you?
Yeah.
You understand? But not no more. They'll give you the pack now.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But back in them days, man, it was a little honor among people not necessarily doing the things they supposed to do because they saw somebody, they rooted for you to get out of the neighborhood. You know, they rooting for you. They telling you, don't come over here by this.
Yeah.
This ain't for you.
Yeah.
And I respect a lot of them OGs, man. You know, that taught me a lot. And you know, I'm praying for our generation these days, man, because there's so much temptation out there. And you know, I'm gonna tell you a crazy story. We had a down there in Naples, there's a place called Paradise. They got like 6 or 7 turf fields. It's a big water park down there, but they had this team in, and I think these guys were from like Philly, like 11-year-olds. They took a Uber from Naples to Dick's Sporting Goods and went in there and just robbed, like just start taking stuff out the store and ran out. But it's like, I remember my youth coaches, and that wouldn't have never even crossed our mind. And that's why I go back to saying that these youth coaches have the biggest responsibility in football right now.
Yeah.
Them same kids who they coaching are going to end up in the NFL.
Or there you go.
You know what I mean?
So
So
important.
it's
You set
like
the foundation, dog.
I love to pour into them guys and encourage them, because a lot of them boys coming home from their job going out there coaching for free, and they
That was
paying
dope.
for kids' meals and they giving them rides and they ain't getting no gas money.
Yep.
But they really have a strong. I'm so for youth football right now, because I think it really can turn boys into men with the community help and support. But
Yeah.
hey,
Well,
man,
Coach, you talk about making an impact and an impression. Our man Dennis hopped back on. He said, "Hey, Coach, now I remember. I wanted to tell you, you met Bruce, that's the dog,
yes,
at the
sir.
very last CU practice on his way back to the car. I'm very happy about that. You told me about your previous dogs, etc."
Yes, sir. I had a German Shepherd, man. I got in kindergarten, and she died when I was in 11th grade, coming home from football practice. She waited till I got home.
Mm.
You know, back in them days, we kept dog in the yard, and I picked her up, took her in the garage, and she let it go. And I really have not been close to a dog. That hurt, man. That thing hurt me so bad, Neely.
Yeah,
Chico,
man.
I haven't been, close to a dog since.
Yeah.
Hey,
You
Chase,
know,
I'm the same story. I was starting kindergarten, right? And I was going by myself because my brothers were older. So this is going to be my first time just me. And I conned my parents. I was like, I probably feel better if we could get a puppy. And so we went and got a we went and got a dog, Chico. That we got that dog 2 weeks before kindergarten. That dog passed my sophomore year of college, and everybody in the house cried.
Damn.
what
Oh,
kind
yeah.
of dog was it?
The
A Dachshund.
Chihuahua or
And
Dotsie.
back then we didn't take the dog to the vet very often.
Oh no, that dog ain't never seen of it.
Dog probably ain't had no shot. My dog ain't had no shot,
Dog
nothing.
had high blood pressure, sugar high, everything, because he eating grits in the
Oh, that
morning.
dog ate what we ate.
Yeah, oh yeah, I remember my dog doing that. I don't know
And
whether
back in
my
them
dog
days,
ran
man,
away or somebody stole him.
somebody either give you a dog or you pay $25-$30 for it.
Oh no,
Yeah,
this was a rescue dog. We ain't paid nothing for him.
Man,
Yeah.
these people not buying $15,000, $20,000 dogs. I just don't
Big
understand
money.
it,
They breeding them and everything, man.
bro. I
remember,
don't understand
I
it.
thought I had a Rottweiler one time. I don't know whether it was mixed or not, but I remember that dog was in
Chico,
my
let me help you
backyard.
out. Chico, let me help you out. You from
What?
Selma, Alabama. That dog was mixed.
Come on, dog. We had real Rottweilers.
Yeah.
But I think I had
Once
that
upon a
dog 2
time.
days. I think I had the dog 2 days, coach. I came home, my dog was gone from the backyard. I damn near cried. All I wanted was a Rottweiler. Now I got to keep these mutts and stuff that my mama feeding grits and stuff in the backyard.
Man, these people,
They left
it's
the
not
mutts
like
up.
pit bulls
It's the Rottweiler.
got a bad rap back in the day.
Oh yeah, I love my
Because
pit.
they used to fight them and stuff like that. But you look on social media now, man, them pit bulls in there like a baby. 90-pound pit bull in there, like and it's true. The owner controls how the dog turn out, man.
That's true. Yep,
You
that's
know.
very true.
But I'm pro dogs, man. But I can't.
Yeah.
That was like losing a family member, Neely.
You
Yeah.
ever talk to your dog and just raise your voice or talk to them like a child and they actually respond to it?
Yeah,
Like you come
man,
outside, like,
they're
what's going on,
sensitive.
your dog? They get the they
If you
like
walk in there
kids, man.
sad, they're gonna be sad. They're gonna come
Yep,
up there and and it's
yep,
a very strong bond.
yep.
I don't know how we got from football to a dog, but
No, that's what we do on the morning run. If you're just tuning in, this
We
is
go real
TMR
well.
Live. We got Coach Cheney joining us right here. Coach, I want to say something, and it might be normal to a lot of people out there because we have a lot of military. Hell, every time I go in the store out here, they ask me, "Are you military?" I'm like, "No, but here's my ID." But anyways, speaking of a military term, you said your bed has to be made before your feet touch the floor. I know it's not literal, but it's military. Maybe it was. Can you explain that one, please? How can your bed be made
I
before your
said
feet touch
when
the
your
floor?
feet touch the floor.
Or when your feet touch the floor,
When
how
you
can your
when you
bed
when
be?
you when you slide, scoot that thing over and put them feet on the ground, by the time you standing up, you making that bed up.
Oh, okay. All right. So
You
okay.
you you don't leave that room without that bed being made up.
Right.
You know what I'm
So
saying?
when the feet touch the ground, you might as well turn around and start making the bed up.
You might as well sleep in it already made up. So when you slide out of it, all you gotta do is fold them back, punch them pillows, and you good.
Okay.
That's what I did. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And we had to wash dishes. Somebody wash, somebody dry.
Yeah.
It was your bathroom day to day. It was just me and my brother. I didn't have any sisters.
Mm.
So now I'm paying for that because, grown women can deal with what my mama going through better, and they can talk to their mama certain type of ways that we can't
Yeah.
talk.
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't care what. We just can't talk to them like they do. You know what I'm saying? But mama and daddy made sure that if something happened to them, we could survive on our own.
There you go.
Hey,
Make them
hey,
do them
Coach,
chores, no matter how young. Make them do them
I
chores.
told you it's three of us, three boys. I'm the youngest, but the one closest to me, we were in the house together more because the oldest brother was much older. And when we had to alternate, right, who turned it was for dishes, and we'd always get in the fight, Chico, because when it was his turn to do dishes, just as he about to get done, I go open up the drawer, get a fork, and lick it, and just put it.
It's so evil, dog.
Boy, it's something about that youngest one, bro. It's something about that youngest one.
Well,
How
next thing
evil
you
can
know,
you get,
it's like
dog?
the house falling in. We just in the kitchen going in.
Poo, poo, poo.
Water all over the floor.
Like,
Yeah,
why,
man.
though? All you had to do was stay in there eating your Fruit Loops and watching,
My younger
TV.
brother, we would go fishing. And, you got to load the pickup truck up. You got the cooler, the poles, the bait box, all that. So every time we get home from fishing, I got to use the bathroom. I got to use the bathroom. That boy go in there and disappear. I was
Yeah.
like, come on, man.
That's
Yeah,
what
that little
Chico do when
tactic.
we go out to dinner in the bill come.
Boy, you hard on Chico.
It's all right. It's all right. I already told him, he talked about manifesting things, coach. And I said, yeah, okay. So I manifested. I said, I said $284 million. $284 million is what I manifest. He gonna say, oh, that's your little manifestation. Okay, Lil. All right. When we go out to eat and I tipped away the $1,000, don't get mad. Ask where yours at. That's your meal right there. Keep going.
Man, I remember the days I want to manifest $284.
That's where I was going. He asking for 284 million like he don't need $28.40.
I'm telling you, boy, it done been some days, man. But I thank God for them days.
Yeah. We
Wasn't
are.
born with a silver spoon in my mouth. Had some little tough times as an adult, but
Mhm.
it was lessons in everything. It was lessons, and I've been isolated like twice. For a few months, just by myself. And I always came out of that isolation with a blessing.
Yeah.
God was able to say, okay, let's talk now. So the way I pray now is I say, I kind of open it up with God. You don't need to get my attention no kind of way. I'm listening. Give it to me right now.
Mhm.
And I want to eliminate any possibilities of him having to hit me over the head to get my attention.
Yeah. I'm listening right now. I'm open to it right now. Okay.
Let's
I like
go.
that.
Let's go. Yes, sir.
I like that.
Yes, sir.
Y'all know what it is and how we do it. We cover any and everything. It is the morning run. We had Coach Cheney with us this morning. Hey, we're gonna run some back to back this week, so cut on them notification bells because we got practice Tuesday and Wednesday with pressers. So this week we're gonna have wide receivers Jason Phillips, defensive line, DN George Hilo is gonna be on. So stay tuned for shows on Tuesday, Wednesday, and I think Friday, if I'm not mistaken, Chico.
Yep. It's going down
George
Major way,
George
y'all. Here.
Hilo George Hilo was at Michigan, and he came and offered like 6 of my guys one time.
Mm.
And I didn't remember. So when he first got here, he was like, he gave me his number, and I called him. And when I called him, my number, he had saved my number, and it was like Coach Cheney, Lehigh Senior High School. And he was like, man, I knew you from somewhere.
Wow.
And he was like a linebackers coach at Michigan,
Yep.
man, and had ran into him before.
Yeah.
T-Rob was the first person to recruit he recruited that running back I had, the 4-star, and he signed with LSU. But T-Rob was the first major college coach that came to my school.
Any transfers that's on the team right now that you had a previous relationship with, or you might have known from high school
Richard
area?
Young is here now. Richard was one of the reasons I didn't go to Jackson. I did, bring Rich to Jackson on a visit, And he decided to go to Alabama, and it's funny. Like when I think about it, I'm like, God, we circled him around, and I asked God. I said, if I'm involved in this, if it's something I need to do, give me the wisdom to do it. You know what I mean? Because what are the chances he transferred to a school where I'm at? You know what I mean? So it's a blessing, man.
So he was your high school running back during
Yes.
your last, what was it? Your last couple seasons?
Last year, I left when he left.
Okay. Damn.
Definitely left.
Right there.
Yes, sir.
From the
Yes,
area,
sir.
man. Damn. Let me ask you this. What are something, because we do prime parents right here on the pregame network, Big Dog, Chico, Cheney. Y'all make sure y'all subscribe and watch the shows. What's some things that that parents need to know coming from you, Coach?
Well, as the director of player development, I want to make sure parents can sleep at night. That was one of the toughest things for me as a parent. Sending a kid, who ain't never really been like my oldest son went to the Citadel, and military college, whole lot of things going on at the Citadel, and that was a rough one for me. He ended up transferring to Valdosta State, but Jake going all the way from South Florida to Madison, Wisconsin during COVID. I wanted to be able to not be that overbearing parent, but I wanted to know that my boys were being taken care of. And both of those schools, the 3 schools they've been to handle that very well. You know what I mean? And I think parents need to really understand that, this ain't high school no more. This is a process. And it's going to require work, mental toughness, emotional intelligence, making sure you're on a schedule and academics are going well. That's what parents need to understand. And they need to ask those type of questions when they come on visits. This is starting all over for these kids. Most of these kids started every game they ever played before they came to college.
Yeah.
They were the focal point.
Yeah.
But you have to prepare your guys, your young men, to like, hey, be ready to play from behind, man. Be ready to be on scout team. Whatever you do it to the best of your ability and it'll work out.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
And that's what I always tell the kids that I've been involved with, my own kids. Man, you just go out there and show up every day. You be like a roach. I tell them all the time. I say it's roaches in mansions. It's roaches in the hood.
That's
I
right.
say, but the thing, they've been trying to kill roaches for 1 million years. Don't let them kill you. Keep showing up.
Keep showing up, Coach. Hey, the door is always open for you, brother. We appreciate you hopping on with us this morning.
Thank you, sir.
In the afternoon, man. Anytime you want to come, drop some more knowledge, bring that fire. We got the door open.
That's right.
Man, look, I appreciate y'all, man. Thank y'all for what y'all do. And man, Chico, last thing. This man played that sail on Lionel Richie, man, back there where we at. And I can't stop playing it now. I was like, man, why did you pull that out?
Because I'm gonna tell you, Coach. When we in the office, man, and I may be thinking about family of the crib, if somehow I could just hear some Commodores and smell some Pine Sol, it'll be like home on Saturday morning. Time to get up and clean up.
Well, that's a good thing, Coach. At least he played that, and he didn't play what he normally play, his theme song in his phone ringtone, which is "It's Raining Man, Hallelujah."
Yeah. He right, like that show, Coach. He right. But let's see if he'll admit that when I call him, it be playing "Take Me Through There, Take Me Through There."
Man, I tell you.
I appreciate you, Coach. Anytime.
Appreciate y'all, fellas,
anytime.
man. Thank y'all again for what y'all do, man. I thank you.
Yes, sir.
Sir.
Oh, take me through that. Take me through that.
Take me through that.
Hey, I always wondered this. What did Randy Moss mean when he did this? When he scored, he do this. What did
like
that
you
mean?
looked like you was spreading them cheeks, man. I don't know what he was doing.
But I wonder what it mean. Oh, that was my Sugar Ray Leonard flurry again. Oh,
yeah. I got one for the bell ring though.
yeah, you did.
Hey,
You got
say,
one there,
look,
man.
y'all, don't trip now. Do not trip. I'm gonna try to tell y'all this week. Today is Monday, and we were on. We're gonna be on Tuesday and Wednesday as well. On Tuesdays, we got wide receivers Jason Phillips coming on, and wide receiver Farrakhan Jr. as well. On Wednesday, Coach Aaron Fletcher, some of the cornerbacks will be coming on, and then on Friday, Chico. Let me see what we got there. George Hilo. George Hilo is coming on Friday. Before we get to all that, tomorrow night on BiggDogg Chico Speed Hustle TV, of course, it's Tuesday. That means Prime Parents.
That's right. Got Titus Bautista coming through. We also have set up Chauncey Gooden's parents and Nate Mitchell's parents coming on too. His mom's from out here in Hawaii, so we gotta check on her, see how that's going on, and see what the Pops is doing out on the East Coast. So, I mean, we got some things lined up for you guys. Y'all make sure y'all stay tuned. Hit the subscribe button, hit the like button. Today, y'all did see the morning run on BiggDogg Chico's channel. That was a mistake made by me. You feel me? But it's on the pregame network now. We got it set up straight. But in the meantime, in between time, y'all make sure y'all go subscribe to both channels. Go get y'all some merch at unclechico.myshopify.com where you can go there and get you some. Make sure you go to the Boulder Broker. You feel me? When you're out there in Boulder where it's colder and you feel like getting busy with a little sneaky link or something, all you got to do is go up to the desk and tell them that Unc sent you, and they'll be like, oh, you want the sneaky link room, and then they'll hook you up like that right there. You feel me? And then if you need some insurance for whatever goes down up in that thing, holla at Miss Denise Smith, State Farm Insurance Agent at DeniseSmithInsurance.com. Chill.
And sometime before summertime, we're gonna drop some new merch. You'll be able to get your Chico exclusive Take Me Through There shirts. They gonna come already pre-tied in the front. There'll be a knot already in the front, pre-tied, so you don't have to tie it up yourself.
Yeah, it's gonna be pre-tied, just like Unc used to wear his football jersey, number 76, just like this, tied up in the front. Remember how Chauncey was when Coach Prime said, "Dog, I can't be sitting here looking at you like that, dog." Take me through there. Take me through there. Lord, have mercy. Y'all stay tuned. We got the, I went back before we get about it. I went back and watched the pro day from last year. Which is what we'll be doing this year. Y'all stay tuned. That's March the 21st. Right? Is that right?
31st, next Tuesday.
March the 31st. I'm like, well, hold up. March 31st, next Tuesday, we have the live feed from the pro day going on. And then we also have a Prime Parents that day also. So a lot, set up for you guys.
We told you where to lock in at, man. We told you where the Blaze one for the nation. It's always going down the pregame network. BiggDogg Chico Speed Hustle TV. Where else can you get the exclusivity with the continuity or the continuity, as Chico would say?
That's right. Because we blowing on the best over here. Y'all go over there. Y'all want that BAP? Go over there and smoke with them. Y'all want that rabbit tobacco? Go over there and smoke with them. Y'all want that good loud, that California?
You want that loud now?
You got to come mess with us.
Appreciate that, Debbie Garcia. You're exactly right. This morning, we dropped a bonus clip with Coach Prime. He wasn't done when we did our interview with him. And he kept on talking, so we kept on recording. So that's out there this morning. Be sure and check that out. Talking about money. Money.
Diamond Rolex with gators on my feet. I got every day of the week.
That's not your favorite, Chico.
I want to ask Coach Prime, like, who wrote the song? Like, where the lyrics come from?
You know what your favorite is, Chico?
Dog, I wrote it, dog. What? What's my favorite? Here we go.
Because that time you FaceTimed me and I had to hang up on you because you was dancing like MC Hammer and Pumps in the Bump.
Like you was doing like Pride when he did the butterfly with the shirt open.
Hey, this Pride. Y'all get ready.
1989 when I signed the dotted line. That's what I'm talking about, dog. Y'all don't understand.
Pumps in the Bump. Good luck, Chico. The pumps in the bumps.
They want to see Unk in the pumps and the bumps. That's gonna be your T-shirt. Unk / pumps in the bumps.
It won't be no knot in it. Take me through there. Take me through there. It's Chico.
It's the border ride. We're gonna be up at about here. Peace in the Middle East. Yeah, you be you. Let's go. Know and love the way I do. I can't even say, hey, it's true.